You know, the more I look at it, it looks like I have, like, I'm wearing fingerless gloves. Like, these are my knuckles. Hey, yeah. Let me crack them for you. Crickle, 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 cruckle, crickle, crickle, cruckle. I'm going to go hack into the mainframe and steal all your pornography in your inbox. Trickle, crickle, crackle. I'm in. Oh, look at all this cock and ball torture that I see on screen. The joke is that my knees look like fingers if you like they're really close to the screen. Let me show you. So like this. Hold on. Yeah, like so. Yeah, but I'm wearing fingerless gloves instead. So, hence these parts right here. It's all very interesting. Great intro, right? Hello, it's me again. What do I mean? It's you haven't even met me before. Chances are this will be the last time you ever see me, because you'll probably be turned off by this video if you weren't turned off by the intro. If you're still here, that's great. I wanted to talk to you about something very important to me. This landscape mode, I guess. It'll be landscape and portrait because I can't discern between the two. And that doesn't matter. What matters is the content of this. I don't like anime. Anime niggas. Anime's fine. I mean, let's put like a circle here. It's like the stop, the no here. It says no anime. This is a no anime zone for me. And especially no anime nigga zone. And there will be like a greasy man here. And I'll explain to you why that man's greasy. The coming minutes or hours. I don't know how long I'm going to film this. My inspiration for this video came from, a conversation I was having with Bruce Willis, guy I know. It's pretty cool. You probably know him too, but that's neither here nor there. Not trying to name drop or anything. I'm just proud of my achievements. But yeah, I was talking to him, and we're at our favorite bistro. Just talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, starring Will Smith, and having ourselves a nice pizza pie. And we see this creature slide past us at breakneck speeds. Bruce Willis, having his high-speed camera on him at the time he was filming, he caught this thing in slow motion as it zoomed past us. So Bruce captures an image of a man. He's on his belly, sliding just at what we would consider FTL speeds because of his frictionless substance known as his own body grease. It covers him. And he has a very, very discolored, dirty shirt on, and it has an anime girl on it. And we ID'd it to be Mookie-chan from the Daciano Konese series, also known as Help, I'm a teenager and I want to be dicked by my dog. Abridged. I moved outside because I think it's important to do some self-care as I sit here with my Clitronella candle. But I guess I can continue with the story. Bruce and I were nonetheless shocked by what we saw, and immediately after we examined the footage, we got a Nextel chirp blast on our cellular phones, and so I was attacked by a bird when I went outside, and I really don't want to go through that again. So I brought my clit candle indoors, and I'll tell you the story here. So yeah, Bruce Willis at the time, he just got off of Schindler's List too, so you know, you can imagine how emotional he was. But on top of all of that, he opens up this email blast, and boom, there's this magnificent mural of smug anime women, and it all forms this swastika. The audio file that we opened up was of a really old and obscure anime known as Bankai Usiko no Hosure, translated into I Hate Black People, abridged. But what was weird about this audio file is every sound, instrument, and voice in the intro was replaced by Kramer saying the N-word in multiple pitches. These were all ripped from his 2004 special at the Laugh Factory. Kramer says the N-word. And speaking of factories and bad segues, Bruce and I, we geocached the email blast that we received, and the signature is really odd. Alright, I wanted to stop the video for a second because, you know, I was really proud of this little moment I had here. Took about 3 weeks for me to come up with this joke, but the geocaching thing, you know, while that was true and, you know, happened, the joke wasn't as organic as I thought it would be, because I was in the booth thinking about this, and I was like, me and Bruce were out here geocaching, right? Guy next to me in the booth says, hey, why not caching out? And, you know, this is when he's leaving the booth and he's wiping his face off. He says this to me, and I'm like, okay, you know, do you want to punch this up for me? And he was like, yeah, sure, where can I contact you? And I told him, and you guys can do this too, if you're ever in the booth with me. There's my email. Oh, right here. Pissman.biz. You can contact me here, or the BP gas station just off I-95 exit 71. If you want to talk to me about stuff like this, I'm in the booth. But yeah, if you're a Libra or a Gemini, please don't contact me, because this season is going to be a little tumultuous, and I really don't want that energy just yet. Maybe on the third moon cycle you can come and contact me. But if you are a cute black girl named Susan or Lavonda, please send your feet pics here. I guess that's about it. I'm going to end the video now. We get it. The location is just down the street from us. So, you know, Bruce and I were just looking bug-eyed at each other. We're wondering, it's like, well, you know, the only thing down the street is, well, the racism factory. And, you know, me and Bruce, we don't think much about it. But then we get to the facility, the racism factory, or, you know, standard racism factory, everyone has one. But adjacent to it was something very special. We haven't seen this before. It's the anime factory. Something just, I don't know where it came from. It was just annexed. But right next to it, joint operations almost, is the anime factory. And there's like a conveyor belt going on the one side. And on the anime side, it's, you know, pretty pictures of little anime girls and, you know, cardboard cutouts of the word ooh woo, and then oh whoa, and then maybe like come or whatever anime people like. Um, and on the other side, the racism factory, it's printing out like FBI crime statistics and like, um, it's like a bumper sticker that says 13% equals 50%, and happy merchant.
We're ready to confront the guy that did this. So we ring the doorbell, which is just a noose that you pull down. And it says Mishima as you pull it down. And the door just swings open. And wouldn't you know it, PewDiePie is standing right in front of us. So, Bruce and I, we're just looking bug-eyed at each other. We're like, PewDiePie, what are you doing here? He says, yeah, well, I work here. This is what I do as a living, And we always thought he was just some sort of guy on YouTube, but no, he's actually a racism / anime factory mogul, a giant in the industry. But we ask him, hey, why do you got all these greasy men sliding past calling us the N-word? Throwing swastikas up at us. And he's like, well, I just hate black people. He gets up, checks his watch, and he says, oh, it's 1488 o'clock. And we're like, what does that mean? He says, well, I got to start the race war down the block. He points outside at the bistro that we were just in. We didn't want to be rude, honestly. I mean, we're polite people. We said, hey, look, the bistro is where we get a pizza pie. He's like, oh, you like the Italians too? Well, that's not what we were getting at. That's not what we're getting at all. We just don't want you destroying our pizza pies. Brushes us off, obviously, very rude and crass, much like a certain Cheeto in chief.
You know what? It's crazy because me and Bruce, we looking like some damn fools up there at the racism factory. PewDiePie, he comes over, presses a button on the wall, and blast doors open up behind him. To what I can assume is his 9-year-old army, or 10-year-old army, or whatever year old army it is. I'm assuming the reference has something to do with the age of consent in Sweden. But nonetheless, what we saw wasn't children. They were large, wet men. And come to think of it, if I was a gambling man, I looked at Bruce and I said, Bruce, if I was a gambling man, I'd wager that all these men are cut from the same test tube, if you know what I mean. I mean that they're clones, if that wasn't obvious. Sorry if I'm being a little flowery with my language. Bruce looks over to PewDiePie and he says, I wonder what happens next. And I wanted to slap Bruce silly because, he looked like a damn fool doing all that, but we're watching the 12-year-old army spill out into the streets, and I mean quite literally. They're spilling out into the streets. And, they leave a grease slick across the road, and it just so happened to be Black Rush Hour. So all the black people, and just the black people, were driving home from their beautiful jobs at the not racism factory and the not anime factory, just across the way, opposite sides of the streets. It's like the two Twix factories, but one's racism and one's not. But those cars, they crash, pile up, 92 car pile up on a 1-lane road. So you can imagine the carnage. And that's not even the worst part. The army, after slinking past the road and causing that massive pileup, they go into an unmarked building. It's past the bistro, past the barista, past the Zimbabwe. Um, Bruce and I are looking at the 3,000th floor of the building, and we see something burst out the window. And Bruce, having the camera at the time he zooms in, it's the corpse of Rosa Parks. It plummets down, 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 splat onto the pavement, followed by a couple of other splats. We're not sure what those were, but we go up to it, and we look at the sign. It says the Rosa Parks Center for gay, trans, disabled, black babies. And we scooped up that black baby, Bruce and I, and we held it to her chest, mangled body and all, and content warning, by the way, there are black baby deaths in this. But yeah, we scooped up those black babies, just sobbed. We didn't know what to do. We thought we did all we could, and we tweeted thoughts and prayers. None of them resurrected after we said that, and we thought the incantation was bugged or something, but it just never happened, sadly enough. We were left wondering why. Why would someone kill these black babies and then desecrate the beautiful preserved corpse of Rosa Parks? So I'd like to come clean for a moment. I don't know Bruce Willis. I've never been to a bistro, and I've never had a pizzeria pie. I've never had an interaction with PewDiePie, king of racism and anime. I don't even think he exists in either of these timelines. I've never seen black babies be thrown out of a window onto the street, nor have I seen the corpse of Rosa Parks be thrown out of a window onto the street. I haven't even shaken hands with the corpse of Rosa Parks. I don't know the man. Wouldn't know him off the street if I saw the corpse of Rosa Parks. He wasn't doing all the horrible things he was in this dramatization I made. All he was doing, all of them were doing this, is they were in like a Reddit thread or a Discord or on a Twitter post, and they were just spewing hateful shit and making other people feel bad. The scary thing is they weren't all animated. Some of them were cat girls, and some of them were fat men sitting in their car with Oakleys on. Some of them were Roman busts. Some of them were filthy Frank images. Some of them even looked like me. What I did notice between all of them, what they loosely shared is the fact that they just seem very, very miserable. And I looked in a lot of them. I looked at a lot of their eyes, and I saw that same blackness in the same person that threw that black baby out the window. So all it tells me is everyone has the capacity to do this. I want to know how to stop it. I want less black babies being thrown out the window, even though none of that ever happened. But at least one oh, fuck you, black baby was thrown out the window. You know, I sequestered myself for some odd months trying to think about this, and I think I know. I think I know how to stop it. So I talked to Dave Rubin of Metallica, and he had a few choice things to say about this whole thing, and I learned a lot from him, and he told me how to stop this epidemic. He said it was right under my nose. I gotta tell you, I didn't smell a thing, but here it was. Dave Rubin told me of a place called Infowars.com. He said this is where you'll find the truth. You know, broken clocks right twice a day. I head over to alexjones.com and I start looking around. I find this article that I copy and pasted, and it kind of encompasses all the things that were wrong with me, and I didn't even know. You know, I live a very privileged life, and one of the things that I noticed that I have that other people don't is this great obese woman named Susan, who just happens to be Asian, walks around my house. And her clus, when it claps together, it reverberates and lets off a beautiful sound. That soothes me and that calms me. And before I met her, it was very violent, very racist and angry, and very black person. What does that mean? I don't know, but I feel less of that with my fat Asian wife, Susan. More importantly, she gave me a hat. And this hat is, I'd like to show you it, but it's a little too personal, but this hat gave me, you know, a sense of self that I've never felt before. And I've never felt quite in place with the world, I guess I should say. But that hat that she gave me made me complete. I think everyone needs a fat Asian wife named Susan that will give them a hat. So I put something as a focal point in a lot of my videos, and if you've been paying attention, very good. It's the ceiling fan. Have you noticed it? When I was in Japan, in China, in India, for business work, I didn't have a ceiling. Where I met my fat Asian wife, Susan, was in Germany, where I had a ceiling fan. And one week I took her to Japan, and she said some things about my penis that I won't bring up again, but I'm not proud to say this, but I pulled a knife out on her and I hit her on the head with a frying pan, and I waited for her to come into a room which had a precariously placed anvil on top of the door, only for it to fall when she opened the door and squish her. Upon removing the anvil, she would spring up like an accordion. I did terrible things to Susan because I didn't have something that would cool me down. I didn't have a place to be cool. So now I try to bring a ceiling fan wherever I go. But a lot of people don't have that. I have a bit of a problem. Sometimes my house talks to me, and it tells the same story time and time over, how I went fishing with my father. It's the same story. I hear it day in and day out sometimes, but I don't hear it much anymore. I'll get back to that. But sometimes it's a ton of voices telling the same story, and they overlap sometimes. It gets really hard to think. But one day I had a bit of an incident. I was outside trying to leave the house, but the voices, sometimes they go outside the house too. But I was in fetal position, cradling myself on the lawn, and this witch doctor lives down the street, comes up to me and says, "Hey, wagwan." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so. How'd you know?" And we get to talking. He tells me something that I've always wanted to hear. You can get rid of all these voices. You just need to do one thing. You know that beautiful black baby down the street? I need you to snatch it for me and put its head behind your rear driver wheel and back over it. And I was desperate, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, let me just go snatch up that black baby." I'm almost at my car. I put the black baby down behind the wheel, and out the woods, wouldn't you know it, Bernie Sanders comes up to me. He says, in a very Jewish voice, I can't really do one. I do a Jamaican accent pretty well, but in a very Jewish voice, he says, "Hey, you don't need to do that. Just take these pills. I just got them. They're free to use. You can have them anytime. Just call me." He gives me his number. He goes back in the woods. And that's the last time I saw the man up until 2016, where he reemerged. But I thank him every day for that. And, I call him up all the time, asking for pills. He's basically my plug. But some people don't have. I have trouble talking to people. And when I do, well, I'll just give you an example. I was going to the gas station the other day, and I walk in and they say, "Welcome to Subway." And I'm already fuming. I'm already red in the face, and I walk over to the barista, and she asks me if I want paper or plastic, and I just say, "You fucking bitch." And I grab her foot. I took a step back from that. And I realized that I was wrong in doing that. And I think about it. She was speaking in Arial. The other cashier was speaking in Comic Sans. And I only realized that I speak Cooper Black. And I guess a lot of people speak their own type of font. And they get angry at others that speak different fonts, because it's unfamiliar to them. They don't know how to communicate like that. I think if we use Cooper Black more, we could reach those people that are ready to throw black babies out the window. Because let me tell you, Ariel did not help me. Nor did Calibri. Whoever the freak fuck that is using Calibri, I don't like you. I went outside to get some fresh air and I look up in the sky. It's nighttime. Boy, does time fly. It's been 3 months since I started this thing, and I guess what is today? Let's see. September 11th. I guess there's 2 tragedies that you can reflect upon now. Oh, Christ. Oh no, some stupid fucking joke. I don't really want to sign off like this. I guess I have to sign off like this. Patreon list, gonna scroll up right now. Tons of people. I have a massive following. I don't have a Patreon yet, but just take one of these names. I'm not gonna set it up anytime soon. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm pretty much a fraud. But ain't that a beautiful moon? Ain't that a beautiful moon? If you know anybody that's just angry and epic online, likes to dunk on people, and that's pretty much all they like to do, ask them if they have those 4 things I mentioned. I forgot whatever stupid fuck ideas I had up. You can connect the dots on what I actually meant. But yeah, hey, I guess that's the end of the video. Good night, fucking bitch.